Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to International Stout Day. It isn't actually International Stout Day today, but it is today that the video's coming out. So if you're watching this video, it is actually International Stout Day on the time this beer review is released. Now, this has been one of the hardest beers that I've tried to get for a long while, and it's quite a sort of like what you would think would be quite a straightforward beer to get. It is a collaboration beer between Northern Monk and Timothy Taylor. As soon as I seen it, I thought, wow, I've got to get that beer. And that's the one I'm going to do for International Stout Day. I thought to myself, God, I could do big stouts, impy stouts. I could do huge. I've got that many stouts in the Spencer Arms that I could bring to International Beer Day, and indeed International Beer Week that is put on by Beck's Drinks Beer over on Instagram, hashtagging International Stout Week 2024. But I thought it's brilliant to do a stout that I want to do a part 2 about, to explain something that's very passionate to me and what disappoints me in breweries that bring out nitro stouts. Thankfully, Timothy Taylor and Landlord. Thankfully, Timothy Taylor Brewery and Northern Monk Brewery haven't done it. And I feel great about it. Anyway, stop waffling. Let's get it out of the fridge. So they say to serve this cold as the north, okay? So this has been in the fridge, being chilled down. Now, the first thing I want to say, I think it's a lovely can. I think the can's really nice. Almost looks like what it's going to taste like, if you know what I mean. 4.4% ABV, Timothy Taylor, Northern Monk. Two breweries I absolutely love. Now, I have travelled all over the place. I've been Morrison's every night of last week, the weekend, trying to find this since it was released to the 27th over 400 Morrison stores. And I couldn't get it anywhere. I went in every single Morrison's in Leicester. I couldn't get it anywhere. The shelves were bare. It was there, but the shelves were bare. I tried getting it from Northern Monk's website. I tried getting it from Timothy Taylor's website. I couldn't get it. Sold out. And then the other day, I went and they were doing a bundle. So you buy 16 beers, and this is in the bundle. So I've bought 16 beers. You should see the size of the box that came. And then, to be fair, the actual bundle itself of the beers I thought was quite good. They only allowed me to have 3 of these, so it was limited to 3. And I thought, I think it was about £54, something like that. And I thought, that's pretty good for the 16 beers that I chose. And it was free delivery, or pay £3 and get express delivery. So I paid that because I wanted it to come in time. So it took a couple of days to come. Anyway, now, on the back here, it tells you how to pour this. So I've been told many a times I've poured Guinness out the can wrong or whatever. But is it wrong? Because Guinness don't tell you how to pour it. You can look how to pour it. But the thing is, some people pour it 45 degrees, some people dump it in the can. I know all about the dumping in the can and letting it come up. I use that a lot and surprise people, even with craft beers, do that. So this is a basically invert and pour hard, settle and enjoy. So anyway, so I just want to read a little bit before I do this. So this is not from the actual description of the beer. This is like from the website. So it says, a collaboration years in the making. Northern Monk and Timothy Taylor's team up to launch a stout, Northern Rising. So two of the North's most celebrated brewers have collaborated for the first time to launch a 4.4% stout, Northern Rising. The culmination of more than a year's worth of work between the two award-winning breweries. Now, Northern Monk being a craft brewery sort of thing, and Timothy Taylor being more of your real ale, traditional, that sort of brewery. And it was going to be released over pubs and in cans, right? So carrying on down here, it says, the team at Timothy Taylor and Northern Monk have used roasted barley and crystal malt in the brew. So expect malt forward and satisfying chocolate flavours. Golden Promise malt is also in the mix, which is a staple of Timothy Taylor's cask ales. Timothy Taylor have their own unique Taylor Taste yeast as well. Anyway, and that says which gives the beer that trademark full body and satisfying mouthfeel. Now, they go on to say that they floated around the idea for ages, and I loved it. This is the bit I love. We settled on a beer style that's 300 years old, started in London, and made famous in Dublin. We had fun getting together and developing different concepts and what we could do together, and landed on a stout, right? So, what I love about this is, and this is what I'm going to do in a little bit of a part 2 video. I love the fact they've made their own stout between them, and they've said they're making it in the style that was basically made famous in Dublin, the Nitro Stout style, which we all know is Guinness. Now, these have not come here to make a stout to compete against Guinness. That is what I like. So I'm pouring it hard, like they say. Now, I was going to put it in the glass, but it seemed as if it was like slowing it up a little bit too much. So I don't really want to do that. Oh, yeah, beauty. That looks like it's going to take an age to settle. Oh, let's make sure we get all that. I can't even tell you how excited I've been about this. I literally can't. Even Jimbo on Ellen Radio, when he heard that this was coming out, and this has been sort of like all on Untapped and things, so people have been having it and talking about it and what have you. And when he done the top of the hops that he does, and this was in there, based on beers that are sort of like drank, not rated, or checked in, not rated, within 100 kilometres of the Ellen Audio pub shed and the home of Ellen Radio, and this was on there. And he turned around and said, I know one person, Speno will be on this, and he'll be hunting out for this. So I've been hunted out for this. I've been dying to get this. I've put it in the Spencer Arms glass. I've made sure the glass is nice and clean. The actual Spencer Arms logo is still showing through there. The colour of it is very, very dark, but not really jet black. I don't know. It might be. It's sort of like, it doesn't look jet black. It is really black, but it also looks dark, very dark chocolatey. You know, if you get some really dark chocolate, the head looks incredible. It really does. It looks a beautiful, creamy head. So I just want to read on the can what it says here. So, Cream of the North, a collaboration between two of the finest breweries, like it said, resulting in a silky smooth nitro stout. Chocolate and roasted malts, as it said. Smooth, dark, and malty. Served as cold as the North. And also, as well, it's all part of this faith in futures. Now, the thing is, so they're putting the faith in futures. And that's one of their Northern Monks concept. I love Northern Monks Brewery. They've brewed some blimmin' silly beers, the Aunt Bessie stuff, and everything else. But they sort of know, look, we can brew beers for the people who don't want the big, bold, crafty stuff. We can brew these novelty beers that people will love, and people do love them. But when it actually comes down to, right, guys, brew a beer, they know how to do it. I love Northern Monk. We've enjoyed many of their sort of beers and stouts and things, and that Big Dipper of the big Northern Monk Faith, the 8% one. I can't remember exactly what it was called. Mine's a sieve. Anyway, smells nice. Oh, it smells very dark, chocolatey, malty. Oh, I really got a hit of that. Now, the thing is, I always say about like not getting many of the aromas through there, but it seems as if with these nitro stouts, I don't know. The head's very, very compact because of the nitro gas bubbles, but yet you still get them aromas. Right, a big swig of this. I've been waiting for. I'm stuttering all over the place. I'm not had a drink or nothing, but I'm really, really, really excited about this. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. That is straight away. It's almost as if you can taste both them breweries in this beer. That's a very fresh stout, actually. The mouthfeel isn't as big as I thought it was going to be. It's not as huge in the mouthfeel, but it's very fresh. It's definitely got some dark, very dark chocolate taste in there. The bitterness from the dark chocolate. But it's got a freshness to go with it. Sticky on the lips. Smashable drink. It's one that I probably should have put 2 in the fridge. So I could have one straight after the other, just to really absorb the taste. But to tell you what, there's something going on in there that literally tells you that you've had a craft brewery and a real ale brewery come together and brew a stout. There's a real element of freshness in there that I really, really like. I think personally, when it says serve as cold as the north, I personally think this is another drink, another stout that I think needs to be a bit warmer. I would say this is not as cold as the north. It's probably been in the fridge since about 5 o'clock, and it is 8:30 now, so it's been in a while. It's been in enough, and this is in the fridge that has the German beers and things, which is a bit colder than normal. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate. I love the fact that it's not got a big coffee hit. It's not got, I don't even think it's mentioned coffee, but there is a slight coffee, very slight, but that could be coming from the bitterness of the chocolate that's making me feel as if. I love the fact they've not coffeed this up too much. There is I can taste some of them sort of like roasty sort of malts that are giving a slight milky coffee flavour. This is really good because it almost when it says like it's got a silky smooth, so it's not that it's different. It's not a creamy smooth. Now the thing is, what I was going to do with this is I was going to do a comparison, and I might do a comparison with Guinness, but I don't need to. But everybody, when a nitro stout comes out, everybody thinks, "Ooh, is it as good as Guinness? Is it going to be the new Guinness?" You know, everyone, and I think, and what we do as beer reviewers, we go, "Oh, here's a nitro stout. Oh, competing against Guinness." But do you know what I love? These are not competed against Guinness. They've mentioned about the style that were developed, what made great in Dublin, but they've brewed a stout on their own. I'm so pleased, and I want you to watch part 2, please, because I really want to rant a bit about that. But this is all about this beer, and what I love about this, where it's in a silky smooth, that is right. This is more slick. It's sort of like, it's not really creamy. It's more slick. It's getting along them tastes of almost like a low strength imperial stout. So if you imagine, like, sometimes there'll be stouts that will claim to have all these different flavors, and you'll drink them and they're basically flavorless at 4.4%. Is this 4.4, did I say? At 4.4%, I bought stouts, and Janie, my wife, she's a connoisseur now. Trust me, she won't say she is, but she is. And literally, she would just say it's too thin, it's too empty, the flavour's not there, it's not a big enough ABV. They've not been able to extract enough flavours out of the malts and things to give it that flavour. But they have managed to get good flavours in this, at a low ABV. And it's almost when I'm sucking on this, chewing this, eating it, you drink it. What am I talking about? Drinking it. It's like there's some flavors that you taste in a lot of imperial stouts in there. So there's a nice dark chocolate. There's really dark roasted malt flavor in there. There is a like a the I think the roasted malts are giving that coffee, but a really nice. If you imagine like that really lovely silky smooth coffee that you get, but it's so subtle. There's no if it's not a coffee stout by any means. The coffee is not even mentioned at all. I don't think there's any, but when they sort of it says with hints of dark chocolate, sort of caramel, and easy drinking creamy finish. They are saying creamy finish. It is more like silky, as they say. It's but you have got really good quality roasty malts in there. Really good quality dark chocolate flavors, a slight bitterness. It's got a very, very slight dryness, but not too much. The malts, there's still enough sweetness there to just. It really is a good nitro stout from these two. Really is fantastic. You can tell that we've got to remember what it is as well. It's a 4.4% nitro stout. So you can't expect it to be massive like Goose Island's stout, Bourbon County stout. You know what I mean? You can't. But trust me, there's flavours in there indicative, if that's the right word, of a high ABV stout. And it's by no means feels like it's watered down, that people say. It's never, and nothing's ever watered down, it's always liquor adjusted, but like it's in no way it feels big, but then you're just not getting that alcohol hit. You're not getting that sort of like that real sort of like fullness that you get from an impy stout. But flavor wise, it is fantastic. It's building nicely. It's the sort of beer that when you've had one, you've gone, I really enjoyed that. I'm going to crack open another one. That was really nice. And you know what as well? I'd probably drink this and pour the next one into this because it is really nice. It really is. I like the flavours. They're well balanced. They're well put together. There's nothing astringent. There's nothing offensive. It's all very smooth and silky and nice and rounded. Slight bitterness, slight dryness, but then all them lovely sweet malts sort of come in and you could, like I've said it a while back in this video with a waffle. You can tell this has been a craft brewery and a traditional sort of real ale brewery coming together and making a stout. You really can tell it's a collaboration. You've got all them sort of like, if you say it had if you had a traditional brewery like Timothy Taylor'd make a standalone stout, you'd probably find it is a fresher stout. It has got sort of like more, because there's not adjuncts in it type of thing, if you know what I mean. There's not like probably any flavors like a pastry stout or anything. It'd be like a non-nonsense stout. It'll be a stout and that's it, end of. And then Northern Monk could probably make a stout that's a little bit more modern, a little bit more sort of like, they make a bit more pastry type stout, something like that, a little bit more sweeter stout. Then you bring them two together, and then you got this non-nonsense sort of like bitter sort of old school stout, and then you got like a modern sort of like stout coming together, and you can feel and you can taste the brotherhood, the marriage with them breweries. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 because it hasn't blown me away. I think if I was to have the It's like that. Looks like cream. If I was to have just the slightest of like, so I'm not going to even say negative. I don't want to say it, but the slightest. What I was expecting, I didn't get it. I thought this was going to be really thick and creamy, but it isn't. But it's not taking anything away from it. It's silky. It's smooth. It is creamy. It's just not drinking a pint of cream. Um, but other than that, it is actually better than what I thought it was going to be. And I'm so glad that I managed to get it. Right, this has been a bit of a Speno waffle. There's loads of information. If you actually type in the old www dots, Northern Rising Unity Stout, a year in the making, you'll get the full write up about it. It's quite interesting. And I just love the fact, that they've not come out with a stout to compete against anybody. They've just literally made their own stout together. And I really hope, because sometimes with these sort of collaboration and these type of beers, they do it for a bit and then there you go, it's done. I think this would be a flyer off the shelf for forever. I really do. It's a really nice, lovely, well put together collaboration stout. Thank you, Northern Monk. Thank you, Timothy Taylor. You get a massive thumbs up from Speno. Love it. Right. This has been part one. I'm going to do part two now. And that's going to be a little bit different. All right. Thank you very much. Cheers.